All right, I'm going to do a quick walk around of our 2009 Rubicon two-door. Kind of go around the outside and then the inside and kind of talk about what we've done with it. And if I screw up, I'm just going to leave it in. We'll see how this goes. But anyway, like I said, it's a 2009 Rubicon JK two-door. It's got the 3.8, which they all had. This one has the 6-speed manual. We bought this thing in 2021. Had about 76,000 miles on it. Has 110,000 miles on it now. It's been a good Jeep. I did have to replace the fuel injectors early on. Was getting a misfire and ended up being those. Other than that, as far as reliability, that's the only thing mechanically I've had to do with it that was out of the ordinary and not just general maintenance. As a matter of fact, it's probably the only thing really. Some few minor things that as I go around I'll remember and tell you about. But the Jeep was basically stock when we bought it. It did have a rock crawler front bumper on it with the Warn rock crawler front bumper with the Warn M8000 winch. And 33-inch tires of their Falcon Wild Peak mud trains, and I've added a 2.5-inch lift from TerraFlex. It's got the basic 2.5 coil spring lift comes with the shocks. Been very happy with it. It's pretty compliant on road and does good off-road for what this Jeep is. I did have to add the lower control arm for the front and the upper control arm for the rear. It came in a kit because the Jeep was just really flighty and had a bump steer, and my wife didn't enjoy driving it, and I'll be honest, I was not very happy with the way it drove. It was drivable, but adding that control arm kit made a world of difference on this Jeep. I will say it's very drivable on the highway. It's a nice driving two-door Jeep that's lifted, you know. I mean, I'm happy with it, especially after adding those control arms. I also added a TerraFlex 1-inch spacer in the front just to give it a little bit more lift in the front because I had that Warn rock crawler front bumper on it. It was a full width bumper that was very heavy gauge steel. Great bumper, but it wasn't really something that I was real keen on the looks. So I took it off and added I think it's the Rugged Ridge Arcus bumper, and I've been pretty happy with it. I added the hoop to it. It's got nice big hooks on the front, and it's got the winches set down below the grill, which I like. So I like that bumper much better than the Warn rock crawler, even though the Warn rock crawler was really tough, heavy duty bumper. I do have the KBD fenders, front and rear. Got them in a kit. Really like those. They are paintable if you want to do that, but I just leave mine in the raw, and they're polyurethane, so I mean they're flexible if you hit stuff on the trail. And they're not too bad priced. I think I paid around $280 for them for all four. I did, like I said, put the 2.5-inch lift on it, and I added Milestar Patagonia mud trains in 315/70 17s, which is a 35-inch tire equivalent. And I've been pretty happy with those. These have got probably 15, probably close, almost 15 to 20,000 miles on them. And there's some wear on them, but they've been wearing pretty evenly. And I probably will buy a set of these again when it comes time to replace them. This is I guess what you call the first generation, and a friend I have at work has the second generation. His seem to be wearing a little bit slower than mine, which I'll get those next time. I'm probably looking at possibly going up to a 37, but I've been happy with these 35s. Jeep looks good. They perform well on and off road. They're not very noisy, if at all, on the highway compared to other mud terrains, I guess because of the tight pattern in the center. They're very compliant on the road, and they perform pretty well off-road. And I noticed a lot of people use them. I see them on a lot of YouTube channels where people are using them. But anyway, they've worn well, and like I said, I'm getting close to 20,000 miles on them. I would recommend them. Moving around, I got some of these rock sliders I added on underneath the Rubicon rock slider. I don't remember what brand they are. I want to say they're Rugged Ridge. I got them off of one of the two big websites, either Quadratech or Extreme Terrain, and they're fine. I haven't beat the crap out of them that much to tell you how good they hold up against the rocks, but the finish on them has been very nice. I know the Jeep is dirty. We just took this out down around some gravel roads and stuff last night and had to go through some creeks and things kind of nasty, but anyway, the finish has held up on them real nice, and they're good looking, and they fit on in addition to the Rubicon rock slider, so I like those. And the reason I bought those is to help my wife get in the Jeep, so otherwise they probably wouldn't be on there. The wheels are Facebook Marketplace Rubicon premium wheels from, I believe they ran them around 2018 to 2021, but they're I guess in the premium wheel package that was offered in the Rubicon. I picked those up for about $400. I did order a set of the Quadratech retro wheels, which I only ended up getting 1 out of 5 because they're on back order. Long story, I still just have the one. I canceled the other 4. Ended up buying these off of Marketplace for $400 and just to get my tires on, and they've grown on me. I really like them. Of course, if you're going to go trail riding and running the rocks, they're going to get beat up, so they were perfect when I got them, but they've got some scratches and nicks in them now, but oh well. Rear bumper is a Quadratech unit. I don't remember the model. It's got the reverse lights, or the LEDs in the back. They're wired into the reverse lights. I really like that feature. The bumper itself, haven't been overly happy with. Within a year, they started rusting out on the edges, and I've had to blow all that off with a pressure washer and repaint it. I would not recommend that bumper just because of the finish did not hold up, and they started rusting out pretty quick. Other than that, I mean, you get what you pay for, right? The lights are great, really like them. Underneath here, kind of shows the TerraFlex shocks that came with the lift kit. I do have a rear diff cover because I peeled the old factory one off doing some rocky trails, so I replaced it with a cast one from TerraFlex just because I like TerraFlex, but it happened to be the cheapest one I could find that was a heavy duty one. The bolts, one of the things I read about that is the bolts are weak and they break, but I torqued mine to the specs that they were specified at, and I didn't have any issues with them whatsoever. Other than that, I got the a little train coupler receiver hitch thing that I just got in there for looks. It doesn't do nothing, but just because of my work, I like it. Did break it off four-wheeling once though and had to get it fixed, but anyway, as far as the outside, I think I've gone over everything on the outside. I did add, now that I'm thinking about it, the TerraFlex track bar. It's kind of hard to see, but it's adjustable. It's a lot more heavy duty than the factory one. I did have a faint hint of death wobble, and putting that on seemed to eliminate it. I also have the TerraFlex heavy duty ball joints that are greasable. You know, that looks really good in there, don't it? But they're a lot heavier duty than the factory ball joints, and they've held up well. They're quite expensive. I think they're $250-300, but they're worth the expense. I imagine any of the heavy duty ball joints, if you're going to run a lift and bigger tires, are worth investing in. They actually came on the Jeep. I found the paperwork for them in the glove box, so I didn't actually pay for them. They were on the Jeep when I got it. Winch, it's got a worn M8000 winch on it. It's an old school winch. I think they still sell them. They're kind of expensive for what they are, though. You can get a lot newer ones that are better and cheaper than this one, but it has been good, and it's drug me out of a couple mud holes, so I can't complain about it. Trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting on the outside. I do have the quick detachable side view mirrors. I don't remember what brand they are, but they came off of Quadratec or Extreme Terrain. I've been happy with them. They do vibrate a little bit on the highway, but they all do. Any of the ones you buy are going to be like that. Rigid floodlights mounted on the A-pillars, and a KC spotlights mounted on the front fair lead. It's got a poison spider mount bracket. I'm very happy with that setup. And they're just wired old school. I don't have any special, switch thing. Got the A-pillar with the 2 buttons, and then the passenger seat eject for my wife. Moving on to the interior, I still got the factory carpet in there. I'd like to upgrade to that armor lights at some point in time, but anyway, the interior is pretty well stock. A little bit of wear on the seat from getting in, especially after the lift was added. The back seat, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's out. Right now it's in, but I've got a sunshade. I don't remember what brand it was. It was around 45 or 50 bucks. Of course, that was right during the pandemic, so they're probably more expensive now. But this is probably the 3rd season, and it's starting to get a little frazzled and stuff. I imagine within the next year or 2 I'm going to have to replace it, but overall I've been happy with that. I think it's a Rugged Ridge, actually. Yeah, Rugged Ridge. So it's a Rugged Ridge shade, and I leave that in all the time, even when it stays in whether I'm running my hard top or my soft top. It doesn't get in the way. I just don't have to hook up these deals whenever I've got the hard top or soft top in, and it's nice. It gives it a nice headliner look. Got the little mounting bar off of eBay. Been happy with it. It's not something you want to hold on to when you're 4-wheeling. It's only mounted with like 1 or 2 bolts, but it's good for mounting a phone and other accessories if you want to do that. I got a Bluetooth adapter so I can listen to music through the factory. It's got the factory nav radio, which still works good. It's got the, I don't think I got the keys, but it's got a CD player. The screen flips open and you can actually play DVDs on it and watch movies, but not that you'd want to. It's screen small, but and I run a power cord. I just fished it up through and brought it out around so I can plug it in my phone and keep my phone charged. I have the Midland GMRS. I think this is the MTX 275, I think is what it is. Most time I keep it, unplugged, but it's wired up through the antenna that came with the kit. I just got it mounted here right next to my floodlight, and then I run the power cord in and then just plug it in here when I want to use it. I do have Rugged Ridge grab handles, which I really like them, but I don't use them a whole lot. I hang stuff off of them more than anything else, like ball caps and sunglasses and stuff. It's got Quadratec floor mats in it, which it had in it whenever I got it, which they're nice and heavy duty. The back ones will blow out and don't ever stay in place when you got the top off. When I say blow out, I mean they blow out of place. They don't blow out of the Jeep. Other than that, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I'm missing. It's just got the factory. It's a factory Infinity, I think, stereo system upgrade. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, Infinity. It's got the subwoofer in the back. It's got some little bit of storage. I keep my pull strap and winch control and a couple essential tools in there. Rear tire mount is a Rough Country heavy duty rear hinge that I added so I could carry a 35-inch tire and not worry about it breaking crap whenever I'm on the trail and stuff. I did have to add a spacer so it spaced the tire back away, didn't interfere down in here. But I've been happy with that. I just bought the cheapest one I could find that was heavy duty and handle a big tire, and that happened to be it, and I'm happy with it. I run a soft top actually I run no top most of the summer and keep a soft top on it. You know, last winter I never took the soft top off, but I do also have a hard top for it that I'm probably going to put back on this winter. But this time of the year, the Jeep is mostly run like this. I do have a cover I keep on it whenever I think it's going to rain. It is not my primary vehicle, although I drive it like it is. I'm trying to think of anything else I'm missing here, really. Well, that's really about it. But like I said, it's 2009 JK. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions or suggestions about stuff I brought up, yeah, feel free to post or whatever. There are a few short little videos of me four-wheeling it here and there. They're not overly impressive, but it's not the most impressive four-wheeling I've done with it. This thing never ceases to amaze me and what it's capable of doing. I can't say my off-road experience was extremely at a good level whenever I first got it, and I'm learning as I go, but this thing, its capabilities far exceed mine at this point. I've caught myself in a couple sketchy situations with it, but it wasn't because of the lack of ability of the Jeep. It was because of my lack of my being comfortable in the situation I was in. But it's been a good vehicle. It's a Jeep. You know what you're getting into when you buy one of these things, hopefully. I know they have, you know, people feel like they're unreliable and they ride like crap and whatever. And to a certain degree, those things may be somewhat true. As far as the reliability goes, my experience with this, that hasn't been the case. Nothing that I wouldn't expect from any vehicle with this kind of miles on it. My wife has a 2022 Gladiator Rubicon, and it hasn't given us a bit of trouble. I mean, granted, it's only got 40,000 miles on it, but other than taking it back to the dealer for oil changes because they were giving us free ones, I mean, it's been great. I might do a review on it later. But yeah, these things, they don't ride the best compared to modern vehicles. But I mean, I see a lot of guys out there in side-by-sides that cost a lot more than what I paid for this. And I mean, everybody's got their own thing, but for me, I just don't see the point of having a side-by-side I gotta have a trailer for and drive somewhere to, you know, haul it on a trailer somewhere to go trail ride and have a place to drop my trailer and leave a trailer in a truck somewhere while I go ride my side-by-side, when I can just hop in this and go drive to wherever I want to go. I know it's all to each their own. I'm not crapping on other people's hobbies. I'm just saying, for me, I ride with a lot of side-by-sides, and granted, we don't do the most technical, crazy stuff, but they have not gone anywhere that I could not follow. And if anything, it's been a little bit the other way around in some cases. So I would say, if you're on the fence about buying a Jeep, you know, talk to people that have got them. Educate yourself. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. They are fun. I never was a Jeep guy until my wife brought this home on a test drive, and I never wanted one, and ever since I've had it, it's been great. I love it. Y'all have a good day.